and today I'm coming at you guys with a story time of the time that I almost got kicked out of my high school. Yes, my high school. And you guys want to know what for? Weed. So yeah, I know that might sound crazy, and yeah, it was crazy. This story is like basically the story of the worst day of my life. It was so terrible. I couldn't even handle it. Like I was so miserable. I promise you I was so miserable. But anyway, let me just stop stalling and just get to it. It all started during my senior week, which was like the last week of high school. So what happened was, of course, I participated in the first senior activity. On Tuesday, we went to Disneyland for our grad night. And yeah, we went to Knott's, swim with my friends, have fun. And then I was so excited for the next day. I'm like, I can't wait. I was like, grad night is coming up. I just want to have fun tonight. It's gonna be lit. Like, why can't I just get an edible? So for our grad night, we were going to go to Disneyland, and yes, I was so spooked. I'm like, what happens if you bring weed into Disneyland? Can you smoke there? I googled all these things. Just looking for stuff to do, and just looking for a way to have my own turn up. And my friends, they was like, don't do it. You shouldn't do it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not listening to you guys. Like, what do you guys know? Guys, if a whole bunch of people tell you not to do something, don't do it. And yeah, I had taken edibles before because, it was just stuff that I like to do at school. I know that might sound really messed up, and you guys are probably like, you got into UCLA being high in school. Honestly, I've met so many people at UCLA that smoke weed. It's not even a joke. So after I got the edible and I got a brownie, and I tried a brownie before, and I tried a Rice Krispie. I've tried a lot of things. No, not like drugs, but I've tried all the different types of edibles. I don't do crazy drugs. This is not baited. Don't do drugs. Since I had a brownie edible before, I already kind of knew what to do. So I had the edible. It was kind of like this big. It was just a nice thick brownie, and they usually taste really disgusting. I cut the square into a L, and then I ate that one last square that I didn't cut. And so I ate that while I was at home, and my mom came into my room. She was like, "Are you high?" I'm like, "No. Hi, what is that?" And guys, before I even got caught, my mom already knew that I used to smoke, and it's like she never said anything to me about it, but she wanted me to tell her, and I never told her. After I cut it up and I ate one, I decided, how am I gonna get this into Disneyland? So I googled stuff. I'm like, do they have dogs there? Are the security gonna check you, pat you down? And I asked friends. I was like, have you guys ever done this? And a lot of friends told me they had snuck in edibles before. So I was like, you know what, brainstorm. And then I was like, oh my god, bravo, I can smuggle it in with a pad. So guys, I took the little Always maxi pads, the orange ones, which is like the really thick one, and I took the edible, wrapped it up in foil, put it in the pad, wrapped the pad up, and taped it all together, and it looked brand new. And it was cool. I think that I would have gotten away with it if I wasn't stupid, but what happened was I decided to take a picture of it. Edibles kick in give it like 45 an hour. And it was kind of like the 45-minute mark after brainstorming and looking things up. And yeah, so I was like, you know what, this is funny. And I just think the whole world should see it. Like, why not? I'm the smartest person in the world. Mistake. Okay, tip before I keep going. If you're gonna do something sneaky, don't tell anybody before you do it. Like if you're gonna go rob a bank, don't tell your friends. If you're gonna go kill your mom, don't tell your friends. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it in a pad. So yeah, I put it in pad, took a picture of it, I put it on Twitter, and it got like almost 300 retweets and so many likes, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's blowing up. Happy me. And mind you, now this was the night before grad night. Was the next day. I had picked out my outfit, got my shoes. I was so excited to have fun with my friends the next day. And yeah, so the next day I go to school, and guess what happens? I'm ready for grad night. My grandmother had dropped me off, and my stomach was hurting because I ate an edible the night before. And if you ate an edible before, you know that stuff really gets to your stomach sometimes. And I ended up telling my granny, like, oh, I have a stomach pain. And it's crazy because she went to go give me some food, but I didn't know. So I go up to my friends, and we're all sitting in the benches outside. And the way that our school was set up, the principal's room was like at the top, and it was like projected so that he could see everything that's going on in the area. So me and my friends were sitting in plain sight, but I didn't think about this at the moment. So we're sitting in plain sight, And they're like, Peyton, did you do it? Like, did you bring the edible? Like, are you really gonna do it? I'm like, yeah, I did. You guys know me. And so they're like, can we see? I'm like, sure. So I had my edible and I took it out of my bag, and I also had some of the edible like wrapped up in the foil in my bag, like to eat on the bus or something. I don't know. I pulled the edible out and I gave it to them, and then they're passing it around. Mind you, now it's 4 of us. No, it's 5 of us, and I passed it to the 4 of them. They're like smelling it, looking at it, and I'm just like, I'm so cool. No, I'm a dummy. So right after that, I put the edible right back inside my bag, and I was just sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I'm the coolest ever. And right after that, my principal came down the stairs, and behind him was 2 security guards, and they came right in my direction. And he came up to me. He's like, oh, Peyton, I need to see you in my office. And right away, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm screwed, because I have edibles in the bag. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So I got on my phone and I deleted the tweet right away. I'm just like, oh, Jesus, no. And it was literally at 300 retweets right away. And my mentions have been blowing up the whole night. The first thing that he asked me when I get to his room is, Peyton, do you know why you're here today? And me, I'm just like, no, I really don't know why I'm here today. He's like, no, I think you know why you're here today. Just take a couple of minutes to think. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And then he's like, well, you're here today because I received an email from the CEO of ISEF saying that one of the students at our school was going to be smuggling in a marijuana edible onto their Disneyland grad night. And we didn't think that this was true at first, but once we saw you come on campus and show your friends a pad, and you let them smell it and sniff it and pass it around, we knew something was up. And we were going to question you. We weren't going to just automatically point the fingers at you because people could have been lying. But we saw you do this and we didn't know what to believe because you're such a great student. And I'm just like automatically like, oh my God, I'm so hurt. I was just like, diminishing my reputation, of course. What he said next was, so do you know what we're going to have to do? I'm like, no. I don't know, because guys, I really didn't know. And so he's like, oh, we're going to have to expel you. I'm like, expel me? I know I don't seem like I'm serious right now, but like it really wasn't a joke. Like during the whole confrontation, I was so scared. Like my heart was beating fast, and I'm like, no, like please don't expel me. Like I'm about to go to UCLA. I have scholarships, and that's gonna just diminish my reputation. I don't know who hates me that much to have to send an email to not specifically the principal of my school, but the person in charge of the whole school district, because they sent an email to the head of the school district, not my school. So whoever told on me wanted me to be in trouble like that bad. So yeah, he's like, yeah, if it was sent to me, I would have just suspended you, but it was sent to the head of ISEF. So now we're going to have to expel you. I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, if I get expelled, how am I going to go to college? I'm just like, how could I be so stupid? I was just so disappointed with myself, and I just didn't even know what to do. It was just so heartbreaking. And so after this, I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? And he's like, now we're going to have to notify your parents. I'm like, please, no, like, don't notify my parents. And how I told you guys, my mom already knew, like, she knew that I smoked, but I never admitted it to her. So it's kind of like, now this is embarrassing because not only did I not tell you, but now I got in trouble at school. So he calls my mom. And my mom is like, I don't even want to hear it, because my mom was at work. And she's like, I don't want to hear it. Call her grandmother. And I'm like, please, no, don't call my grandmother. And you guys might not personally know me, but my grandmother is from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. And everybody from the Virgin Islands, like all of my cousins and family members, all of our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents are super strict. They abide by all the rules. I don't know if you're an islander and you have parents from the Virgin Islands, but strict parents is just like, yeah, I have strict parents, which is why I did sneaky things like this. But I'm like, no, please don't call my grandmother. How I told you guys that I told my grandmother that my stomach hurt. My grandmother went to go get me food and she brought it back to the school. So they're like, oh yeah, your child is in the office. And she's thinking like, oh, like she has a stomach pain or something. And she walks into the office and I'm just like, I'm crying already. After he said you were expelled, I start sobbing, crying. My heart was beating fast. I didn't know what to do. So I could just only cry. So she walks into the room and he tells her like, yes, your daughter da 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 da. He told her the whole story. I'm not like, oh my God, don't care about me. But sometimes I feel like parents don't have to hold their children on a leash all the time, because then that leads their kids to doing sneaky things, going behind their back. So he tells her, and as soon as he tells her that, she literally passes out, guys. Like, she's like, what? Like, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you guys this. She has passed out for about 30 minutes to an hour. Just passed out on the floor. They had to, like, get her back up. And I'm not laughing right now. Like, it was a very dramatic situation. It made me really emotional, and it made me scared. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, I did this to my granny, and she's crying, and she's like, oh, it's your fault. Like, why would you do this to me? Like, I didn't even know how to feel. Like, I let my parents down. I let my, the school staff down, because people believed in me. Like, you know, and then it was people who are younger than me. I promise you guys, like, everybody knew about the tweet, and everybody knew that I got in trouble about the tweet. So it was just really embarrassing for me. And my mom came up there. As soon as she got there, I was like smiling when she came, because like I have this nervous reaction thing. Like, I'm not the type to be calm. Like, when I get in trouble, I really just might be like just smiling, and not because I think it's a joke. It's just because that's just how I react when I'm nervous or scared. And yeah, I thought it was a joke. So she came and approached me, and she was like, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, guys, she like really ran up on me, but it was okay because my face is safe. I went like this, like I had to duck, like I hope y'all not laughing at me, because it was really serious. Like, she broke my nail, you guys. It was so tragic. But yeah, and then so my mom, my two cousins, my granny, a teacher, the principal, and the security guard were all in the room. It was like a giant intervention about my life. And so they started telling me I shouldn't be doing drugs, and I lied, and I shouldn't have done this. And I took all of it in. Like, I was crying. I felt terrible. I felt embarrassed. And I wasn't just hurt because I got caught. I was hurt because my reputation, the way the people looked at me. I almost didn't even go to UCLA. I almost got expelled. I almost didn't graduate. Like, it would have literally ruined my life. Like, my life could have been ruined just like that, and God blessed me just like that. So my grandmother, how I said she passed out, they decided that because, you know, basically she cares a lot, and they didn't want her to be in this state. Like, she was literally passed out for almost a full hour, guys. Like, they're like, you know what, we're just gonna suspend her for a day, and she can come back when it's time to practice graduation and when it's time to graduate, but she's not going to be able to get her National Honor Society badge. And if you guys don't know, National Honor Society is an extracurricular activity for excelling students at their high schools or middle schools, and I was in that. That was also very hurtful to me, because I felt like I worked so hard with the application process, volunteering, all of that stuff just to get that badge, and just one simple mistake ruined it all for me. Yeah, so we ended up being there from like 9 in the morning until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and it was a really long process. I had a long talk with my family about how to get right, like how to be honest and open with them, and just basically promising them that I would never do something like that again. And I try not to be a sneaky child anymore, because now I'm in college. I feel like, you know, I'm 18. I should be able to be honest and open with my parents, and if they don't accept that or understand that, then they don't have to deal with it. And it's like, no, I'm not independent yet, but I don't want my parents to, you know, think that I'm about to be a child for the rest of my life. So if you guys have strict, overprotective parents, it's going to be a point in your life where you're going to have to stand back, or you're going to just continue to get treated like a child. And you don't want to continue to get treated like a child, because then once you have to be on your own, you're going to be lost. Like, it's really not a joke. So that's honestly all I have to say about this. Like, don't lie to your parents. If you want to be sneaky, don't tell anybody what you're about to do. Like, move in silence like a snake, and then tell people after your success. Love your parents because they care about you. Don't post all of your information on social media, because there are haters out there that will try and come for you. Oh my gosh. And stay in school. Don't do drugs. Explore if you want to. I'm not saying like don't do drugs at all, but you know, be careful, because so many bad things happen to people every day, and I care about you guys. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to stay updated with more of my videos in the future. And you can follow me on my Instagram at PaytimB to stay updated with me or my life, or when I post a new video. And comment if you have any video suggestions, or you want to hear more story times, and also comment and like this video if you liked and enjoyed this story time. Once again, thank you for watching. I love you guys. See you guys next time. Bye.